Suzy Wrong, Joy Drive's film, TV and theatre reviewer.
Now, Suzy Wrong, I've been looking forward to introducing you this week.
It's so nice to be here with you.
Normally we're in trouble for not doing our homework, but I tell you what, you're in trouble for setting it.
It was a pain, wasn't it?
It was. We are talking about The Bachelorette. Do you want to sort of introduce it?
The Bachelorette and The Bachelor are some of the most successful reality TV franchises of our time. Commencing nearly 20 years ago, it is now seen every day by millions all over the globe, spawning countless spin-off shows that capitalize on the popularity of the original format. Last week in Australia, we saw the first openly bisexual protagonist of the series. Brooke Blurton first appeared 2 years ago as a contestant in the Honey Badger series and again in the 2019 Bachelor in Paradise spin-off, in which she revealed her bisexuality when she went on a date with a woman cast member. And now for the first time, we see both men and women contestants vying for the heart of the lovely young lady. I was excited by the prospect of witnessing this timely shake-up of an old format, but in the first 2 episodes last week, it appears that the producers are insisting on the predictable and the formulaic. The introductory moments are everything we had seen before, time and time again, only with 2 genders instead of 1. I suppose messing around too much with a tried and tested cash cow is too much to ask. It is still early days yet, and I still harbor hopes of seeing the lesbian contestants get into each other's pants behind Brooke's back. Look, it is easy to be derisive of shows like these, but the fact that something so inane and so stupid can be so immensely popular is really revelatory of the people we truly are. Warren and Em, what do you think the appeal is of the show? Why do you think so many people are so in love with it?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's such a big question because people do really love it, don't they? There are diehard fans that watch every single season and know every single person. And I think maybe it might boil down to, I could be wrong, people love love.
Oh.
Like, I think that's it, right? Like, I think people are sitting on their couch and they think, oh, watch someone else, because maybe all of the dates are so formulaic and, it's candlelit dinners and it's all of these very classic romantic trope kind of situations.
Maybe that's filling a hole in their lives, Em.
Potentially. I don't know.
I have a huge, massive hole in my life. It does nothing for me. I think it sells love and romance in such a narrow way.
No, I totally agree.
It is so weird. Like, I think you're right. Everybody loves love, but the way that it portrays it, even with the possibility of same-sex attraction, it is sort of shrunken into this really narrow, old-fashioned. It's as though it's designed by your great-grandmother. This show.
Totally. I think the photo shoot in the second episode was very evident of that. Just the way that they put it together, the scenes, it was just so...
See, I didn't make it to the second episode.
What I will say about this season, though, is it's fantastic to see a welcome to country at the beginning of every episode. And I just really want to make sure, well, I have no power to do this, but I really hope that continues throughout every other offshoot of this franchise, because otherwise it's very, it's almost like they've done it as a gimmick. And I hate to think that's going to happen.
I feel like I've seen it on several different shows recently. Well, and I don't really know where that came from, but obviously it's a very, very welcome inclusion.
Absolutely. I just hope that continues throughout the franchise. But I think Brooke is a nice bachelorette.
They're all nice. maybe that's the problem,
Suzy, I'm just really pleased that you didn't reveal my text messages that I was sending to you when I was watching it. Because I think I'd be into trouble. But you know what? I lasted about 20 minutes, Em and Suzy. Honestly, I found it really, really difficult.
Why? What is it that triggers you that way?
You know what? The music started annoying me. This dun, 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 dun. And it's like she's just getting out of the car. She's not stepping over a cliff. And they made it into such a dramatic thing. And it was just driving me nuts. A bit of that MasterChef thing as well, that dum, dum, dum. And I just found it, they were trying to make...
It all feels like a war movie.
Oh, and it was just like, she was just getting out of a car and walking up. There was nothing dramatic to it for me.
I think this show, more than other shows, it's always feel really fabricated and artificial to me. I know all these shows are artificial, but there's something about the Bachelor stuff that feels so fake. I just can't even find a way to get into a fantasy of it.
You know what I was focusing on is all I could see. Remember those lollies you can buy, those fake teeth? Those teeth lollies? I just could see those everywhere. I've never seen a set of people with the same polished, white, perfect teeth in my life. Every single one of them. Every single one. And I thought, this is not real.
You know how when you texted me at 7:30 saying you were getting ready for it, I was so surprised. It didn't occur to me there was such an early broadcast. And then, of course, it sort of became clear that it's made for very young people. Don't you think?
Yeah, maybe. And the other thing with the car, I didn't see because I gave up after about 20 minutes, I've got to be honest. I didn't see everyone coming in, but, everyone was pretty much white and smiley teeth, and I know maybe towards the end it changed. I didn't see any Asian people coming out, which was disappointed.
Look, I'm not surprised that Asian people do not want to have any involvement with this kind of thing. But sometimes you have to ask on the other side, we're used to thinking, oh, why aren't they included? Sometimes you got to think, oh, why are they not interested in getting involved?
Look, I found it really painful. I like the fact that, the Welcome to Country's there. I like that they're dealing with bisexuality and there's mixed gendered casting. But I can't help but think it's there to boost ratings, given that I was reading it premiered to abysmal figures last week. So
it's interesting because there's been so much talk about it. I personally feel that this kind of show is pretty harmful, especially if you're talking about them speaking to young audiences, whether in your teens or in your 20s, that you think that romance happens this way, that there's this sort of ideal, and then it always whittles down to one and one. I've got this vendetta against monogamy anyway, so that makes it even harder to watch the franchise.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose you tolerated it a bit more, didn't you, Em?
Yeah, I did. There's an SBS show which is like a mockumentary that's based behind the scenes of a show like this.
Oh, that would be fun.
It's called Unreal, I've just remembered. And it's fantastic because it really gives you an idea of how very much production goes into these shows. And I think even, from a specific example of this Bachelorette season, the whole drama with the bench, Suzy. Like the whole episode, we're focusing on this bench, and I'm thinking to myself,
it always happens in episode 1. They always have to look for something. They're
but a
desperately
bench.
looking for something. It's always something really.
Oh, was
tiny.
it the bench that got made?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then someone sat on it first, and it was a big drama, Warren. Big
and
drama.
She was going, I can't wait to sit on it.
Yes.
Yeah, so they throw lots of super dramatic music, and they're cutting to a lot of heads turning, and then we form this story that's meant to mean something, and becomes a cliffhanger and everything.
Yeah,
it is all very strange.
100% and heavily produced. I think we can all acknowledge that. Even you from 20 Minutes, Warren.
Yeah. So, Suzy, I'm really excited to ask you, what's our homework for next week? Please, not another
it's
one.
Melbourne Cup next week, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, so the week after.
The week after, I think, let's leave it in case something changes.
I love that. Spontaneity.
Yeah. Because things happen so quickly. And this one that I found, I'm a bit nervous about. So let me give me a bit more time to think about it.
Okay, all right. And we'll mention it next week.
Yeah.
Fantastic, Suzy. We'll chat to you in a couple of weeks then.
Thank you.
Oh, I've got it before you go. I finished off Veneno.
Oh.
It was so sad, but well worth watching. That was much better.
Everybody listening in, please turn on your iView and
ABC.
look for Veneno.
Yep. Veneno, Veneno on ABC iView, one of the best shows we've seen.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Suzy. Catch you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye.